came flying by. All right, you know what?
With Category 4 hurricane, Hurricane Ian, now hitting Florida, one employer thought it was a brilliant idea to ask their employees to come to work today. I'm going to get to how insane that story is and the fallout from that once that news went viral. But I'll also get to a lot of video from this hurricane as well to show you how devastating this thing is. First here, a bird's eye view of this. So as Dean Blundell writes, Hurricane Ian is half the size of Florida. When the storm gets so bad that the red turns black, you know this thing is serious. And taking a look at the size here, look at how massive this thing is. Jesus. From Jeff Baradelli here says 1 mile per hour shy of a Category 5 hurricane. Only 4 U.S. storms have made landfall that strong. It may be taking a similar track to Charlie, but it's no Charlie. Ian's eye is 40 miles wide. Hurricane winds are 75 miles wide. Dwarfs Charlie's 5 mile eye and 30-mile hurricane winds. So yeah, quite a difference there from a 40-mile wide eye to a 5-mile wide eye. This is a massive storm. It's going to cause all sorts of damage. Here is a prediction map showing the kind of flooding that you should expect. So from Evan Fisher here, I can't overstate how serious the storm surge threat is in Southwest Florida. Ian will drive deadly surge into Cape Coral and Fort Myers, placing much of the area underwater. If you live near the ocean in a surge zone, this is your last chance to leave. So I'm going to show you a bunch of videos now, and I also saw, by the way, maybe if I can find this, I'll include it, people trying to swim as it was hitting. There was someone else on a Sea-Doo, someone else in their boat. I don't know where those people are now. I don't know if they were able to leave before before landfall actually happened, but some insanity out there. I don't understand how people are this crazy with this shit. But let me show you a collection of clips here from this hurricane hitting Florida.
It just came flying by. All right, you know what?
If you look below me, that was the pool area of this hotel. It is now part of the Gulf of Mexico.
Steph, you're in that wall, though.
There's like 3 boats. No, there's 4 boats.
4 of them.
4 boats.
Holy crap.
Inglewood, and you see things have really gotten pretty rough here. And
You just can't stand up. All right, I'm gonna let you guys look at the pictures, okay?
All right, so I'm going to get some more context on that door clip at the end of that. And of course, I'll get to the story about the employer in a minute here. But first, I don't know how these storm chasers, these journalists, whatever you call them, these people out in the storms on these cameras, how do you keep doing this? Are they making you do this? Do you want to do this? Like, I would say that, you know, at some point someone's going to be killed and they're going to stop doing this. But I looked that up, and apparently 2 people were already killed in 2018 covering a storm. And it happened even earlier, I believe, even years before that. So people have died doing this, yet they still feel the need to have these people on television risking their lives just to be in the middle of this hurricane. Personally, I think it's stupid for a number of reasons. I mean, it's dumb for them, but it's also, I think in some ways it almost downplays how dangerous this is. If you have these people out there in the middle of the storm, it sort of opens the idea up that actually you can totally survive this, and you should be fine to stay home. It's okay to be in the storm, because these storm chasers, these journalists go down there all the time to cover this, and they're fine. So I just think all around it's a dumb thing. But on that door, because I just thought, you know, that was a quick clip. Maybe you want a little explanation here. This is from Alexis. Door buckled from the water pressure in Naples, Florida. This happened to my husband. He is okay, lost his shoes. So just if I could slow it down here, just run this timeline. Look at this thing. The surge hits this building and this door just collapses right in. Absolutely wild. One more video from the storm before I get to the story here. So this is from Mike Betty's. First person view of storm surge. This camera 6 feet off the ground on Estero Boulevard in Fort Myers Beach, Florida. So I'm showing you this. I'm going to compare it to what this place normally looks like. So here is this area here. This is how it normally looks. So yeah, this place now completely underwater. And that's how it is on a normal day. But not too bad to work, right? You can still come to work. So this from Vice News. Company asked employees to bring family and their pets to office to work through Hurricane Ian. So I'm just going to get to the source of the story here, since he's the one that makes up the majority of this piece. Jonah Furman, he's a labor reporter for Labor Notes, so labornotes.org, so to give him and his website credit here. So he broke the story. Employees at marketing firm Postcardmania in Clearwater, Florida, are not only being asked to work through the hurricane, but are being told to bring their kids and pets to stay at work overnight so as to continue to service our national clients. This is, I was going to say insane, but this is capitalism at its finest. This is what happens when you have people running companies who really do not give a shit. And in most cases, that is most companies, at least larger companies. But, you know, in a storm like this, I think even most companies are aware, hey, maybe we don't want to kill off our entire workforce, not because we care about them, but because it would cost a lot more money to have to rehire them and retrain them. So they want to keep them alive, keep them going. But this place thought, you know, let's just downplay the entire storm, not worry about it. So they do, in fact, go on to say, I think it's in the initial post here, we would like to continue to service our national clients if we can. Bring your kids to work on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. We have movies and fun for them. Oh, my goodness. So he goes on to say, here are the CEO's remarks on a staff call sent out within minutes from the meeting. So I want to give you full context. I want to be super fair because, you know, there are parts of this message that makes it sound like, hey, this guy actually cares. This boss, he just cares about his employees. But then, you know, he'll throw a thing in to make you go, wait, is that what this is really about? So let me just read this for you. He says, hi, guys. Can you hear me? I'm going to try to talk like a cool CEO who wants his people to come to work during a hurricane. Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Say hi. Say hi to Danny. We're driving. Here's the deal. I guess a hurricane is coming. I have lived in this area for 33 years now, and the media always makes it a lot worse than it has ever been. Obviously, we have to plan for a disaster and hope for a nothing burger, which every single time we plan for a disaster, it's always a nothing burger. So if it's super windy and you feel uncomfortable driving across the causeway, then we'll figure out how to get you to work from home. But I'm not afraid of this thing personally. If you're new to town and you're like, oh no, it's a hurricane, it's not going to be that bad, I promise. It's not going to be that bad, I promise. But there are evacuation areas. Even Zach's apartment is an evacuation apartment, and he's up a giant hill from the water. Nothing is going to happen over there. I live one down block from the water, but high up on a bluff. My house was built in 1925 and it's still standing. So here's the thing. If you want to leave your home and you're being told to leave your home and you feel like you should and you have no place to go, PCM is probably the safest place to be in Florida. Anyway, bring your pets, bring your kids, bring everybody to PCM, and Jason can start blowing up those air mattresses if we need to. Been there, done that. It's going to be fine. Obviously, you feeling safe and comfortable is of the utmost importance, but I honestly want to continue to deliver, and I want to have a good end of quarter. And when it turns into nothing, and I don't want I don't want it to be like, great, we all stopped producing because of the media, and maybe that it was going to be terrible, so let's see. I think it's maybe going to be bad on Wednesday afternoon. It's not going to be nearby until then. Let's just keep track of it, and we'll keep you informed. We keep looking up every 5 minutes at the models to see what's going on, but I think it's going to be a nothing burger like usual. Crossing my fingers because that's what I'd like. Anyway, raise your hand if you're scared of the hurricane. It's really not going to be that scary. But if you're scared, I understand. I also understand why you're not raising your hand, because I just said it's not going to be nothing. Sorry, because I said it's going to be nothing. Honestly, if you don't want to drive over the causeway because of the wind, I understand. But I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful rest of your staff meeting. I'm going to get off this Zoom and then click the link so I can watch the staff meeting. Bye, guys. Wave at me. Oh, you're so nice for waving. Those of you that did, love you. Bye. Okay. God. All right. So, look, I wanted to read this entire thing because this is how they do it. This is how they make you feel that you're being taken care of, that they really care about you. Oh, we want to have your family. It's going to be a fun time. We're all a family here. We'll take care of you. It's going to be a good time. And then he throws in a line like, well, you know, I really want to hit I really want to have a good end of quarter. Like he sneaks that in there because that's him. That's a crack in the armor for a second. That's a little crack in the facade, showcasing what this is really all about. It's about him wanting to hit or have his good end of quarter. That's what all of this is about. Otherwise, he'd be like, your family comes first. Make sure you evacuate if you're being asked to. Hope you're all safe. Have a good few days. And hopefully it isn't a big deal and come back at the end. Don't worry about it. We're going to cover you. You'll be fine. But that isn't the message here. The message is, I want to make end of quarter or have a good end of quarter, so please come to work. Now, after this story went viral, Paul Blessed here saying after these tweets went viral, the company reversed course and said they'd close the office Wednesday and Thursday. But employees I spoke with said they're still expected to hit 40 hours of work this week. What if their power goes out, I wonder, which is very likely. Jonah Furman here also updating saying, but the company still says if someone can't work from home because of power outages, they don't get paid. So there we go. Just answered the question. They value their employees so much, care about them so much. Bring your friends, or not your friends, but bring your kids, bring your pets. But when it comes down to it, it's all about the bottom line. They do not give a shit. If they don't get the work, if they don't see the work that they're paying you for, you don't get paid, despite you not having power, despite you not being able to get to work because the road is covered in 6 feet of water. Absolutely disgusting. Anyways, let me end on a few things here. This from Common Dreams, of course. The climate crisis is at the center of this entire story. Fresh demands for a climate emergency declaration as monster Hurricane Ian comes ashore. So the Sunrise Movement is again calling on Biden to call a climate emergency, which would open up funds and allow Biden to do a lot more to address the climate crisis. Going on to right here, floodwaters in Fort Myers area are expected to reach 12 to 18 feet. That is insane. According to National Hurricane Center, Ian is only the latest extreme weather event to hit the U.S. in recent weeks and comes just 2 weeks after Hurricane Fiona caused blackouts across Puerto Rico and dumped 30 inches of rain on the territory. In July, heavy rainfall in eastern Kentucky linked to the climate crisis led to major flooding, which killed more than 36 people. Last two things here. I thought I would end on sort of a chuckle. Starting with this, Laura Trump out there with her son in the rain. So I assume this is in Florida. Maybe it isn't, but it fits the theme. So let's just check this out. Putting her son.
Oh my.
I'm going to bring this audio down a bit.
God, Luke. It's so true.
This poor kid. Well, I shouldn't say poor. He's not a poor kid. But this kid out in the rain. Now, to be fair, some people were calling this child abuse, but to be fair, this is likely the hardest thing this child will ever face in his life. Is this rain in shorts and this soaking wet shirt, probably freezing cold. Not good for the child. I wouldn't do this to my own child, but this is likely the worst thing this kid will ever face. So I don't know. Maybe it is character building, as she is claiming here. But last thing, to end on a happy note, Megan Cruz Scavo here says, my boyfriend saving a cat from floodwaters near Bonita Beach. So let's take the audio off, but check this out. This very nice guy walking over, saving this cat. How about that? That's one thing that, you know, sometimes we forget is there are a lot of animals, pets that get caught in the middle of all of this and don't have anywhere to go, don't know what the hell to do. So it's nice to see a moment like this. There you go. Thought I would, you know, do what the local news does, and on a happy story after I fill your eyeballs with, you know, sludge. But anyways, hopefully, if you're in Florida, I hope you made it out safe. I hope you're okay. Take it easy. Don't go to work. Stay home. Take care of yourself, and hope you're all safe.